Hello, my name is Ron and I'm with Classic Bug Parts, and I wanted to spend a little bit of time to go ahead and talk about the MP pedal cluster that they're offering out there, which we naturally handle now too at the same time. And I wanted to show you the good things and some of the things that need to be refined or adjusted. So if you'll come up here and I'll show you just a little bit about what we're talking about. The first thing you want to do is you want to go ahead and disassemble the cluster itself and set everything aside. Now the first thing you have to do is you have, and here's the clutch shaft rod that they give you right here, and you will not be able to, it fits naturally right inside this the clutch pedal itself. It will not come out easily. You're going to have to go ahead and drill it out, possibly about halfway, and then use a drift punch to go ahead and push the rest of it out to the other side. Then once you have that out, you want to go ahead and take that drift punch and push it out so it's setting off to the side just right here. Okay. Once that is done, now you can take the brake arm, which you'll see right here. It has the spring that sets on here like this, and it's going to be held in place by a snap ring. So you want to remove the snap ring, pull the pedal apart and the spring, and then set it off to the side because you're not going to use that at this point in time. You will notice once you do that that the pedal shaft itself, the brake shaft we call it there, is not very finished very nicely. It's not been machine ground. It doesn't look very well. It's got some high spots. You want to take some sandpaper. I've got some 800 paper, and then you want to fold it up, and then you want to kind of circle it around the shaft, and then you want to just kind of rotate this right here until that shaft is perfectly smooth, and you'll see the finish that you get out of here. Now that is going to be done. You'll notice on there, I've taken it off already, but you're going to have a prong that sits out off to the back, and you have to remove that prong, otherwise the pedal is not going to get its full travel. They had used it in that 67 and newer, they had used that as a pedal stop so that you didn't bottom it out and possibly bend the throttle plate. So you're going to have to cut that off and make sure it doesn't interfere with that. Now once you have that out of the way, you want to set that to the side, and then we're going to move into the next one. The next one is going to be is that after you've gone ahead and taken the clutch pedal off, remember we took it to the side, you want to take the new shaft, and we provide a upgraded clutch shaft on here, which is either going to be the big boy, depending on what you want, or it's going to also be the standard shaft, and you want to line these holes up. Now, you want to make sure that this is basically almost straight up and down with this here. Okay, that seems to be the timing. It has to be pretty good. And one of these holes is going to be lined up. On the opposite side, it is not going to be lined up. When they put this unit together, they did not spend the time to make sure it was centered perfectly between both sides. It was drilled off. Don't know if that was intentional, or just simply don't know. But any replacement shafts that you would get in this unit will not fit in here. You have to modify the clutch arm to do that. So once you've found this out, okay, where you want to be, you want to go ahead and mark it on the either side, either one, depending on which side it's going to be lined up with this pedal, and mark it with maybe the yellow marker on here so you know which side to cut. Now what I do is I take my Dremel mill and I use the metal bit on here, turn it up at high speed, and then I'll cut it down slowly inside the arm itself, so that I get what I need for it, the pin to go ahead and slide properly inside. Okay. Once that is done, what I do is I take it over to the mill, and you'll see what I've done on this one. I now surface the side, because what we want to do is we're going to go ahead and use a nylon lock, a bolt on a nylon lock, and we want that nut to go ahead and bottom up right against the pedal itself. So that way we don't have any movement or anything is showing, we get positive contact. And you'll see there's plenty of room between here. In fact, this is really more stronger than what the factory pedal is, because they went to thicker material. There's well over 100 thousandths more of material on this, so you've got more strength. Normally on the German pedals, what they do is they break right in this area right here, because all the pressure, especially if you're using a stage 2 and above, all the pressure seems to be on this area, and it'll cause it to go ahead and crack in this area right here. But they've compensated for that. So this is really a very good pedal right here. But just do that, what I told you there. Okay, once that is done, then I come back and I go ahead and I spray paint that with a high gloss or semi-gloss so that way it covers that all up. Now once that is all done, you're ready to go ahead and reassemble the cluster back together. But before you do that, this is the next step we do, and you'll notice this is the pin that holds the accelerator, whether depending which one you use, if it's not ours or whatever, whatever you're going to use, you'll notice how sloppy this area is. So they actually made that really oversized. Now this side right here is okay because it is touching the tunnel and the tunnel is pushing the pin across. But on this side, you'll notice that it's got a lot of movement over here. And if I turn the pin around, you'll notice how much movement I have right here, which is a lot. So what we've done is we use now a 11/32 drill. We come in and we go ahead and drill this out, and then we use a brass sleeve or bushing and we put it right back inside here. Okay, and we're using the pin, okay, the pivot pin. We're using the pivot pin to go ahead and hold it into position so that way it's perfectly lined up. Now you can go the opposite way to put it in, or you can put it in like this, coming back the opposite way. Yeah, either way is good, okay, but you're going to get it in so that way it's lined up. You want to use, if the hole is too big, you want to use some Loctite. Red is preferred, but blue is okay too. Let it set up. Once it's set up, you can pop the pin back out. Now you'll find out that there'll be no movement here after it's all set up, and now your pedal is not going to be flopping around based on the pin. Now you're going to have a little bit of room on your pedal because that's just the way they made that. Now once you put this whole back together, you start putting it back together, you want to make sure when you put your brake arm back on here, you want to make sure and look at where the snap ring goes and make sure you have plenty of distance between it and the pedal itself. The factory has allowed 50 thousandths worth of movement sideways on here for expansion, so there'll be no drag on there. When you put the clutch arm, whatever it is, whose it is, when you put it in here and it's set inside and you put the arm on, you want to do exactly the same thing to make sure that you have 50 thousandths worth of clearance or movement from side to side. If you have more than that, we do offer a shim in there, anywhere between 25 to 45 thousandths of a shim to go ahead and take up that area so that now your pedals are basically the same, 50 thousandths on each one of them, okay? And it'll tighten everything up. We'll go ahead and attach the clutch arm, and we're using a Case 9 hex bolt here, and we use it, and we use the nylon lock on here so that way it gets it all set. We tighten it up. Now that's not going to move. And if you're really concerned about it, for us, what we do is we use red Loctite inside, so now we're attaching to the shaft, plus we're using this at the same time, so it will not come off. Okay? And we also do provide a pin, in case that's what you want to do. You can put the pin on there too. Either one, it's going to work out for you. Also that we offer with it, okay, is what we do is we offer a accelerator, kit number 1 or kit number 2, depending on what you'd like to have, and based on what year you have too. We can also put our pistol wheel in here too, so you really have 3 different pedal assemblies that you can go with to pick from, but that's really kind of your choice, and you'll tell us what you need to go from there. Now, if you're really interested in this and you would like to order it, you can go to our website, and you can order it now through classicbugparts.com. It is a secure site. You can use any card you would like to do, just making sure that your address is right, the card to the shipping address is right, and it will be done immediately. We have everything in stock right now for you. So please, go to Classic Bug Parts. Check out all the other products we have online at the same time. Thank you again.